growers think about soil health, they think about the chemistry. They think about the nitrogen, the potassium, the phosphorus, the pH. Is the pH at the right level that these nutrients are available? How about the micronutrients? They treat soil like a bank. They put in inputs and they take out crops. But there's a growing number of growers that are realizing that the wealth of soil is in the architecture. We're going to pull the curtain back today on soil structure. But before we go in and look at the slides, I want to show you something out here in the field. Right here we have a alfalfa field that has been conventionally farmed probably for generations. About a year ago they took the irrigation down, hasn't had any water for a while, so it's dry. But if we take a look at this, and maybe you can show this, but the compaction on here, oh, that's 250. It's coming up to 300. We have a 300 psi hard pan right here. So we have no structure in the soil. I brought a spade out here before and almost broke it trying to dig this root out of this alfalfa plant. But if you look at this, when I dug this out, the dirt just fell off that root. See how that does? And there's no nodules on here, and basically this is a clean root. None of the soil or anything is left on there. So what we have here is we have a 300 psi hard pan, and what rain we've had some rain in the last couple weeks, but you can kind of see right here that the water does not flow into the soil. It flows right down over here into this low spot over there where it's green. So now let's head over to my garden, and I want to show you healthy soil and a healthy root. So in contrast, I'm in my garden right here, and about 4 years ago, I took the sod off of this, and we did not rototill. We did do the broad fork there, split it open a little bit, and then we've been putting compost and biology on it every year since then. And this is a contrast from that field out there. I mean, this doesn't even show up on the scale. It's so soft. And what I want to show you is I got a little bit of bluegrass growing here from the yard over there. And if we dig this out, we have the structure here. We have the cottage cheese looking here. This is called the rhizosheath here. See, that's not going to come off of there. It's all the little roots, it's the fungi, it's everything. It's all the glues that we're going to talk about here in a minute that are holding the soil together so water can get down in there. And inside here is all the exchange of the nutrients from the fungi to the bacteria to the roots. This is more what you want your soil to look like. And you can see that there's channels and hallways and everything else for water and air to flow. So let's go down and look at a couple slides and show you what I mean. Soil structure is simply how sand, silt, and clay particles clump together into aggregates. Texture is what you were born with. That's the sand, silt, and clays. Structure is what you build. When we have good structure, we can create a network of tunnels and pores that allow water to infiltrate deeply rather than running off the surface. Thinking of it as the lungs and the plumbing of your land. How do we get these clumps? It's not mechanical, it's biological. It's the exudates, the sugars leaked by plant roots, and the mycelial networks of fungi. These organisms, easy for you to say, these organisms secrete glomalin, a biological glue that holds these aggregates together. If you want better structure, you don't need a chisel plow. You need to feed the biology that builds the glue. This is why structure matters for irrigation. If your soil is compacted, your water, whether from wheel lines or from natural rainfall or whatever it might be, sits on top or runs off. When you have strong aggregates, you create macropores, stable tunnels that act like a highway for water to move deep into the profile, storing it for the roots to access when the heat hits. And we often talk about equipment like the shift away from flood irrigation toward wheel lines. That's a good start for efficiency. But if the soil structure is destroyed, even the most precise irrigation system will struggle to overcome that lack of moisture retention. We have to manage for the soil's capacity to hold what we put on it. How do you know if you have good structure? You don't need a lab for the first step. Use the slake test. Drop a dry clod of soil into a jar of water. If it dissolves instantly, like Alka-Seltzer, your glue is missing. If it holds its shape while the bubbles escape, you got the structure needed to withstand environmental stress. Improving structure is a long game. It means minimizing physical disruption, keeping living roots in the ground as long as possible, and viewing soil biology as your primary input. When you shift your focus from feeding the plant to housing the biology, the structure follows, and so does the yield. Managing soil structure is arguably one of the most effective ways to drought-proof your operations and make your irrigation system work for you rather than against you. It isn't a quick fix, and it certainly requires a mind shift from traditional high-input approaches. But when you look under the microscope, when you see that biological glue holding everything together, you realize nature really does have the best engineering protocols. If you're currently working on improving your soil's integrity, whether it's in your garden or whether it's in a field or a hayfield, or just thinking about it, check out my website, bydesignsoil.com. Lots of free stuff on there, as well as some field manuals for sale that can really help you to begin to put a plan together and get going. Next video, we're going to be talking about cover crops and soil succession. We shall see you then.